Watched a video about freaking Tarky and Helldivers. Well, not really Helldivers, but you know, I love ads. Chat loves ads, don't you, chat? Hold on, I have the perfect thing. Oh wow, chat! Wow, I love ads. Nothing's coming up right now. Ads. Oh, what's that over there? Oh. Ads? Ooh. Alright. 3, 2, 1, boom!
Advertisements, aka ads, aka that thing you see everywhere all of the time. No matter where you go, and no matter what you do, ads can and will find you, Brian. That is a
I can't wait to get a chip implanted in my brain and then seeing ads for when I, like, you know, watch a video on YouTube and I can't skip it because it's implanted in my brain, and installing ad block would require me to, like, remove my prefrontal cortex. Yeah, that would be so cool.
certainty in life, along
Ads
with death and taxes and that thing when the waiter says, enjoy your food, and you say, I love you too, senpai. In video games, the beautiful, magical world of escapism and wonder that is video game, sadly it, no exception. Video games have been tainted with the foul odor and slimy snail trail of product placement.
But you don't really notice it because it's not intrusive to the gameplay. Yeah, it's really not that bad. Like, yeah, you notice it, but it's like, eh.
And advertising for many a fortnight. Pun intended.
Fortnite.
Unfriended. But is all advertising in video games bad? Are some ads for good and not just greed? How did we get here? And where the hell?
Well, you have to get money somehow. That's why I don't really blame people for taking sponsorships sometimes.
How are we going, Brian? Dude, you're driving. Just hand me your phone. Multitasking is not one of your starting attributes, Brian. The year is 1978 AD. Advertising. Scott Adams releases Adventureland, a text-based game with no graphics, and even worse, no kill streaks. And yet, Adventureland holds one of the earliest examples of in-game advertising. An ad for Scott's next, upcoming, even sexier game, Pirate Adventure. Ooh, shiver me.
But you're advertising your own game. It's not that bad. Yeah, it's like saying books that have sequels that have them at the end of the book. Yeah, Warrior Cats has those too, where you see the other book. Yeah, it's not that bad.
Timbers. Look out, Sea of Thieves. Scott be like, yo, Microsoft Sea of Thieves nuts can fit in your mouth. I'm sorry. Okay, so it's the 80s and product placement is already in f***ing everything. But also, PP is starting to show up in the world of video games as well. Primarily in the form of the advergame, which is exactly what it sounds like. A video game built solely around advertising a single product or company. One of the first advergames,
the Pepsi Man,
is in 1983 with Tap.
I have DBD brain rot. I thought that said Trapper. Oh my god. There's actually something wrong with me. I have 2,000 hours in that stupid game. I thought that said Trapper, man.
Trapper prominently featuring Budweiser and sold to be played in bars, but nobody really gives a shit about the product placement because they're drunk, but also the game is just really fun. So fun that a year later the game was rebranded as Root Beer Tapper and sold in regular arcades for children too. So now all the kids are like, hey bud, why'd you put this A&W, man? I'm shitting. Now the big video game crash of 1983 would slow things down for a bit.
Wait, there was a crash in 1983 involving video games? I'm gonna have to learn about that. I think JonTron talked about it one time a long time ago. Big crash, yes. I literally don't have a clue. E.T. bombed. Oh, wait, I kind of remember. Wait, E.T. the game. I remember JonTron played it. Yeah, okay, I remember. Something really vague.
But the late 80s and 90s saw a huge resurgence of advergames, talking about Donald Land over in Japan in 1988. Because over there, Ronald McDonald is often known as Donald McDonald, which...
Donald McDonald. Because they can't roll their R's, if I remember correctly, so they made it Donald.
I am just enamored by that. Capcom publishes
Noid!
In 1990, who, while not as immediately recognizable as our beloved Don...
Not just JonTron, but before JonTron the angry video game.
Wait, AVGN? I remember! I watched him when I was younger, man! Yeah, AVGN was one of the OGs. Yeah.
Bon Jovi over here. Noid was once the iconic mascot of none other than Domino's Pizza. Fun fact about Yo Noid is that it's actually just a reskin of this Japanese game that I will let my anime fans help me pronounce. That's about a ninja boy who rescues children who have been kidnapped. Now, I don't know about y'all, but when I get kidnapped, first thing I do is order Domino's Pizza. Cool Spot drops in 1993, and honestly, for a game where its entire...
Wait. No, JonTron made a video that talks about company and food related games. I remember now. Dude, there's some weird memories I had unlocked. Yeah, because I remember this being one of the games featured. Yeah, Spot.
Their lore and existence is solely based on the red spot on the 7-Up logo. Whoa. The game gets pretty good reviews and people actually kind of like it. There's a closet behind me in this apartment and I almost just fully fell into it. Chex Quest drops in 1996, bundled with certain boxes of Chex cereal, and is clearly just a non-violent reskin of Doom, which is kind of genius. But disclaimer, if you have a phobia of rice, corn, or wheat, this game may as well be Doom. What the fuck, Brian? I'm gluten-free. Why did you make me play the wheat level, Brian? You're a toad. You've always been a toad, and you're gonna die a toad, Brian. Pepsi Man drops in 1999, only in Japan, unfortunately. Shout out Donald, and I couldn't even begin to tell you what Pepsi Man is advertising, you know. I'm looking
It's about Pepsi Man, what do you mean?
I am just lost. There are so many of these advergames that I'm sure some of you remember that just kept going and going into the early 2000s. Kind of goes without saying, but obviously these companies are dropping advergames to try and boost.
But if it's a fun game, I don't really see the harm in it. Like, what's wrong with that? If it sucks, nobody's gonna like it, and then nobody's gonna buy your product.
Sales of their product, right? The question is it actually working? The answer, much like my vision through these shitty glasses, is a little unclear, but it seems to be kind of a case-by-case type deal. Chex claims that Chex Quest boosted their sales by 295%.
I believe it. If it's a good game, it will make kids be like, oh, Chex? Wait, that's the game. And then they bug their mom more to buy the Chex. Yeah.
At the time, which kind of makes sense because you're getting a free game bundled with a box of cereal, and that game is basically Doom. I mean, that's
it had the game in it.
But then in the case of something like Pepsi Man, where you have to go out of your way and purchase a game with your hard-earned money that is a literal walking advertisement, yeah, you wonder why that didn't sell that well. Einstein, maybe stick to handing police officers cans and fixing.
This ad was so bad. The ad where she hands him a Pepsi.
All of our problems.
The cop.
Wow, does that guy ever shut up or what? Hi, I'm Jakey, and Jakey, attorneys at law. Have you fallen victim to a crappy internet browser? Does that crappy-ass browser fail to meet your needs while gaming? Do you ever think about me, Linda? Please pick up the phone. I just want to talk to the children. If you're like me, you love to have a bunch of stuff going on in the background while you're gaming. But oopsie doopsie, mama made a poopsie. That Google Chrome web browser you're using to watch that video in the background sure is hogging up a lot of your CPU and RAM power levels. What the heck? And now you're getting frame drops and lag in that fast-paced anime game you're always playing and won't shut the hell up about? Now that just will not do. Your Honor objects, sustained, overruled. Go to jail, get a
joke's on him, nobody plays Overwatch anyway, except Locky.
Enter Opera GX, a browser with the ability to limit the amount of CPU and RAM usage that you're willing to let your browser hog up while gaming so it doesn't slow you down. A browser with the ability to limit network bandwidth usage as well to help eliminate performance issues in online games. All useful tools placed within the GX control panel near the top left of the browser. With Opera GX, you are entitled to all sorts of wonderful customization, including, but not limited to, deliciously tasteful themes and fully customizable color combinations, along with the option for light, dark, and auto modes. But let's be real, just put it in dark mode. Everyone knows dark mode is the best. All options.
Yeah, I still don't understand. The only people that use light mode are people who have hard of sight. They have like no, they have hard time seeing.
located within the Easy Setup button in the top right corner. Speaking of corners, the GX corner in the top left is your one-stop shop for all things video games. Oh, you want to keep track of upcoming game releases? Oh, you want to stay up to date on current gaming news? Oh, you want to see all the best current gaming deals? Oh, you want an updated and curated list of available free games to download for free, aka what us lawyers call a good deal, buy, sell, sell, sell? If you download Opera GX using my special link down below, your GX corner will also have the exclusive feature of showing my recent 12 uploads, so you'll always be up to date when I upload a new video. Every 10 months or so. If you think Jakey, attorneys at law, can help remedy your web browser problems today, use my link below to download Opera GX. Thanks to Opera GX for sponsoring this video, and I guess now we'll get back to whatever the hell Dr. Dumbass is talking about this time. The history of video games, history of Bakugans. I ought to sue his ass, throw him in the slam house. But what if your PP isn't just in a blatant advergame? What if you sneak your PP into like an actual legit fully priced real video game? Well, that started happening like a lot in the 90s and 2000s. Sports games are a huge one, with games like Madden, FIFA, 1080, and Tony Hawk all having relevant product placement to each kind of sport. Same with racing games like Need for Speed or Gran Turismo, showcasing real car brands and real car parts. Same with Croc 2 advertising fucking little guys. I should have just said Crocs. It would have been way better if I just said Crocs. Damn it, Brian. Stick to the script! So far, all of my non-advergame examples have been pretty tame, and there's actually a solid argument that that product placement could actually add to the immersion of that type of game. But then it starts to get a little trickier. Crazy Taxi drops in 1999 and is one of the first blatant examples of product placement in a non-advergame, non-sports, non-racing game, but the immersion argument is still potentially there. Yeah, brands like Pizza Hut and KFC pop up in this game a lot, but also, if you were a taxi driver, you would probably see brands like KFC and Pizza Hut. Like, as a passenger, it's kind of hilarious to imagine getting into a cab just to go to a Pizza Hut by yourself, like just get the pizza delivered, but you get the point. Crazy Taxi marks a point in time, I think, where the immersion argument behind product placement in video games really only does get trickier and trickier. I'm just gonna run through some examples real quick, and you let me know what you think down in the comments, gamers. Make sure to ring that bell and be notified once a year. In Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic's shoes are officially soap branded shoes. You know, like the shoes that you put on, you can like slide down rails and get all soap.
Wait, what? I did not know that! Dude, I played Sonic Adventures. I did not know it.
Soapy and shit. Hey, go off. That's kind of hard. Fucking Shadow got the foams on. In Enter the Matrix, apparently the only beverage that exists in this universe is Powerade. Maybe because it comes in green and can just kind of fit the whole
blend in,
Matrixy vibe.
Well, games are expensive to make. If they blend in, it's not that bad.
Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, a game all about remaining undetected and slinking around in the shadows. Ooh, you know what would really help you to remain undetected is if you just fucking reek of Axe body spray and Airwaves gum.
That is such cap. Axe smells so bad.
And the Nokia phone was like... That last game is notable because it was one of the first to utilize dynamic advertising, meaning that it uses the internet to change what ads you see in-game depending on your time of day and region. Ubisoft was one of the first to do this type of chicanery, but definitely not the last. Thanks, Ubisoft, I love you. Please don't hurt my family, please. It was Brian. Brian did it. And surprise, surprise, guess what other companies started doing this in the 2000s as well?
EA Games.
No, not our EA. Couldn't be precious EA. Madden, Need for Speed, even the skate games got in on it with different dynamic ads appearing on like billboards and buses and shit. But my favorite example by far is in Burnout Paradise, where in 2008 they ran political ads for Obama. Hey kids.
I played this game and I never knew that. That's actually insane. I never knew that. Thanks, Obama. Yeah, frick that guy. Freaking Obama.
Kids, when you're not too busy T-boning your fellow Americans at 200 miles per hour, vote for me, dude. I'll put f***ing beer in the vending machines. Now, going back to that whole, but does it add to the immersion debate, that conversation really only does get trickier and trickier as gaming grows.
I could not vote in 2008, so it didn't work.
It's an advergame that has like the f***ing king himself on the front of the box. That's one thing. Like, you know what you're getting into if you buy that. But when the king shows up in your $60 game that you just purchased with your hard-earned paycheck, that hits a little bit different. I'm not saying it's always necessarily bad. Like, it could be funny or whatever, but it is different. Like, when I skip school to drop $60 on Uncharted 3 and I boot up the multiplayer just to be assaulted by the smell of Subway bread.
See, this is bad. When it's this bad and obvious.
Freaking up my home. You know exactly what I'm talking about. That Subway bread has a very specific fucking tang to it. Like,
yeah, and it's also cake. It's got so much sugar in it, it's classified as cake.
It's like its pH balance is all fucked up. Alan Wake is a better example for us to discuss as far as the immersion shit goes, okay? It's a single player, offline, Remedy-made game, okay? I love Remedy. Max Payne is like my favorite game ever. Now, in theory, having brands like Energizer and Verizon show up in your realistically portrayed world is potentially fine.
Yeah.
Especially when a main mechanic of the game is using batteries for your flashlight. But when these very specific ads repeat themselves over and over, and you get a f***ing achievement for sitting down and watching an entire ad on a fake TV in a fake universe. Alan, wake the f*** up. We're going back to GameStop. We're returning this game and we're buying Yahtzee. I don't give a shit anymore. We're getting Yahtzee for the 360. I think an argument for
maybe that's why Alan Wake kind of flopped.
Immersive TP with more solid ground is the Yakuza series. Now, I've never played these games, but based on what I've watched and read, they seem to incorporate a wide variety of Japanese brands in a much more subtle and potentially world-building.
Wait, that's because you're in Japan, too. Like, that's a bit different. And you're in a city, so, like, I feel like it's almost like it makes you feel like you're in Japan, you know?
Way. And I'm not trying to get preachy and say you should feel one way or the other about this. I'm just saying, I think if you're gonna argue for immersion, there's more of a substantial argument to be made with this game series. Versus Kojima just straight up putting brands like Doritos and Mountain Dew and Axe body spray into the Japanese version of Peace Walker. With his reasoning being to keep things fresh and to surprise players. Like, okay, dude, how about you focus on surprising us with another two-dimensional character with giant boobs
this must be blurred.
that breathe through
I didn't do this chat, by the way. I think he had to get this censored.
her skin and not a fucking ad for Ride
copyright.
with Norman Reedus Sundays in a game where I'm supposed to be taking Mr. Reedus seriously as Sam Porter Bridges. Get it? His last name is Bridges because he's gonna bridge together the fucking US. I don't mean to just roast Kojima, okay? I own every game. I have art books. I have a huge crush on Sniper Wolf, not that one, the one with the polygonal setup.
Ooh. I was about to say, that is not good.
But come on, if you even think about going in the comments and arguing that the inclusion of Monster Energy or Ride with Norman Reedus Sundays adds to the immersion of this universe or is a fourth wall breaking move from an auteur, you just don't understand. Alan, wake the fuck up. The Patriots are behind all of this. The lole. But you want to know what really changed advertising in video games? Mobile games. That shit done went and changed the entire fucking galaxy.
Oh my gosh.
Because if you release a free-to-play game,
dude, I love Temple Run!
and you run ads on it, and that game does...
I played it before it even had ads on it, guys. Am I crazy? I don't remember it having ads. You just bought it for like $2 and that was it, no?
Even a little bit well, you could potentially make a lot of money. The Flappy Bird guy claimed he was making up to $50K a day when that game was...
Holy shit, $50,000. Oh my god.
Also chat, don't forget, Pikmin 2 actually had soda cans as collectibles. However, in future ports past the original GameCube versions, they changed it to be genetic drinks.
Oh, generic. I was like, genetic, huh?
blowing up, and then he
$50,000
hated his life
then.
from all the memes.
That's $50,000 then too, by the way. That's more like probably like $60,000 or $70,000.
Messages and attention he got, which is really sad. And a lot of the time, the ads in these free mobile games are just for other mobile games that 90% of the time don't even fucking exist, or are just like really weird, or like really sexual, like an off-brand ad.
We have a YouTube video somewhere out there from like months ago about us watching. Oh, maybe it's not a video. I think it was. There was a really racist mobile ad game with like a Chinese empress, and then the other being racist and stuff. I think it was a Meat Canyon video. It was so funny though.
Ask Costco render of SpongeBob like on an island with like Peter Griffin, and there's some shitty text-to-speech that's like,
Grandma got away with it again. No one can get past level 5 without coming.
God, it was so bad.
That's a different type of game. We all know what type of game I'm talking about.
Make sure to choose your color of cum.
And then surprise, surprise, the free-to-play
What did you just say?
model makes its way over to consoles with games like Fortnite, constantly having different promotions or events like the trailer premiere for Tenet or an Ariana Grande concert. And a lot of that stuff is actually pretty cool and like well integrated, and because the game is free, nobody really cares that much. Like credit where it's due to Fortnite, everybody kind of wins. Well, except the children who are preyed upon with their marketing to spend money on their mommy's credit cards, but you know, Spider-Man. But here's the kicker. First of all, I'm gonna take this off because it's really hot and it's like impossible to see anything through these. So I'm just gonna go soccer mom style for the rest of the video. You know your favorite companies, you know your best friends. Well, they started incorporating those same business practices in the free-to-play model of in-game microtransactions and advertising in not so free video games, aka $60 fully priced video games. Like,
yeah, I mean, at least Fortnite is free, man. That you could always argue. Like, League is free. You don't have to buy skins and champions.
At one point, NBA 2K and UFC 4 had straight up mid-roll ads that played during downtime or even interrupted gameplay. You know, like a mobile game does
gross,
with the Peter Griffin grandma situation. Also, 2K assaults you with microtransactions like every 5 seconds, so maybe just don't play that game and just go play basketball outside.
It still blows my mind. Again, there was another video where we talked about the NBA and the Madden stuff where you spend $2,000. $2,000 on a game just to buy it again and then starting over. That blew my mind.
Like
people out there that do that.
And unlike the subtle plug that Scott Adams did back,
like real world money where they spend thousands of dollars on like teams and stuff. Massive piss. Oh my lord, it was so insane. Because you have to buy the game, and then to top it up, they spent thousands of dollars on top of that. Yeah, for FIFA. No, it was NBA, FIFA, all the other games, like all the loot boxes and stuff. Yo, Marshmallow, think of the 8 months. Thank you so much.
Back in 1978, modern games love to remind you that their hot, sexy new game is out too. You should really go out and buy that one. But when that adds even one step or loading screen between me and getting to play the game that I actually want to play, my patience runs out faster than Brian on track and field day. And let me tell you, that kid is dumb as hell, but he is quick. Earlier this year, Sony and Microsoft both announced that they're streamlining the process of integrating ads into free-to-play games on their respective marketplaces. Similar to how ads are integrated into games on your iPhone through the App Store. Now, in an absolute best case scenario of how these ads get implemented, hardworking game devs getting more money for the blood, sweat, and fears they dump into their indie game or whatever, while
devs don't get any of that money, by the way, chat. It's all the corpos and like publishers and stuff. Not all publishers are bad. I'm just saying. You paying an extra skin does not automatically equal to the devs getting more money. It's so gross.
Ads are subtly placed on billboards or benches or used in like a immersive world building way like the Yakuza series. That's fine in theory. But after going over everything I've gone through, I think we all know that's probably not how it's gonna shake out. And not to be a depressing Darren, but if history repeats itself, all signs point towards AAA companies slowly inserting more and more ads in their paid AAA games too.
Oh my lord, don't remind me of Battlefront, please. That was such a fucking disaster.
Because again, look at how much fucking money ads make on mobile games. You seriously?
Oh, fun fact. Blizzard is a subsidiary technically of Activision, right? Activision owns Candy Crush, and Candy Crush, I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, I'm 90% sure it out-earns Blizzard. All of Blizzard combined. Yes, I'm not kidding. Like, Overwatch, Hearthstone, World of Warcraft Classic, World of Warcraft Retail, what else? I don't fucking know. Like, Diablo, everything combined, all of those games earn less than Candy Crush. Does that not blow your freaking mind? People still play Hearthstone. I mean, that's besides the point. I'm just saying, isn't that insane? It's a mob game on a mobile device!
Seriously think those AAA bigwig execs aren't noticing that shit? Have you heard the way these lizard people talk? They already tried doing it with those sports games. It's just like microtransactions. Years ago, nobody thought they would ever put that shit in a fully priced $60, or I guess now $70 paid game like Gran Turismo 7, but money talks. And
my brother stopped playing Gran Turismo games because of this. He's kind of a boomer in that regard, but he did say that because of all the not pay to win, but like it just became all like storefront stuff.
You know what's also crazy? At one point, Genshin Impact earned more money than the entirety of PlayStation.
I mean, hey Genshin all you want, but at least that one is kind of a fun
games
game.
Are the 21st century casino.
Yeah. Diablo Immortal made, I forget the stats, I'd have to pull them up, but again, Diablo Immortal in its first quarter made more than like, I think it was like World of Warcraft in the last like 3 years or something. It made a ridiculous amount of money in the first quarter for Blizzard.
Fortunately, Activision Blizzard and EA and all these companies learned to speak money on Duolingo because in 2021, Activision Blizzard made over $5 billion on microtransactions.
$5 billion. That's more per GDP, not GDP. God, I am so cooked. That's more GDP than most countries
Just look
in the world.
The Candy Crush series made $20 billion in September 2023.
$20 billion. My stepmom used to pay for Farmville too. Yes, it is very sad. Yeah. That's more than the GDP of some countries. They're fixed it. Yeah, my bad. I'm freaking fried. It's towards the end of stream. I don't know what I'm saying. Big piss. Massive piss. That is insane,
Over half a
bro.
year since I started watching already.
Yo, Beaver! Holy crap! Thank you for the tier 3 for 7 months. You're insane. Thank you so much. Now you're contributing to my GDP. Thanks.
Alone, billions with a B and an
Billions.
I and a T for Ted. And just like with microtransactions, gamers are gonna push back and complain, but at the end of the day, a lot of you, mostly children probably, which is really unfortunate.
And moms.
The children are frequently the ones preyed upon with this shit. A lot of us stupid gamers are still gonna buy the fucking thing because the day I can't live out my Steph Curry power fantasy is the day I alley-oop off this mortal coil, so help me
Excuse
God.
me?
So yeah, that's where we're at now. Not to end this video on a depressing note, but I guess my only real message that you should maybe take away from this is don't pre-order games. Just don't. I've done it, you've done it, we've all wanted to play that game.
I haven't pre-ordered in a while.
The second it comes out.
Probably like
But
5
honestly,
years.
Just wait even an hour to see if A, the game even runs properly, like it was
Look at
advertised
materialize,
to, or
man.
B, doesn't have a bunch of shitty business practices implemented that completely ruin the experience. People should be paid for their incredibly hard work, 100%. But also, as a consumer, when you buy something, you should know what you're paying for, right? Like when
Yeah, but the pre-order money doesn't go to the devs, again, who make the game possible. Like, yeah, like, sure, you could argue marketing is a big factor, but it's insane.
you watch a video for free on YouTube, it would probably make sense for that person to run an ad on that video to make them some money so they could buy cool stuff like a jet ski, right? Like, you would want them to buy a jet ski.
Jet skis
even
are
though they
kinda
live in
neat.
the city and they definitely couldn't afford or fit a jet ski and maintain that jet ski, right? You would want that, right?
What's a jet
Okay.
ski? Huh?
Happy we could get on the same page, Brian. I appreciate that, man. Thanks again to Opera GX for sponsoring this video, and NakeyJakey and Jakey, attorneys at law. Thanks you for watching this video. Godspeed, and good night, and Godspeed. And Linda, please call me using your cell phone.
Jet ski on throne,
I
house
really
on
want to talk
throne.
to the kids.
Clabjers! Yay! NakeyJakey. When are you gonna get a jet ski? I don't know, maybe one day. Jet skis are fun though. Clabjers, thank you for watching. It was a good video.